Well, hey Scorpio, how are you today? It's fixed sign week, almost ending here, and I'm belatedly but faithfully here to deliver a message for you. I'm gonna give you a basic advice spread. We'll see what you need to release, something perhaps that you're finished with, what you want to embrace. And we have a lot in retrograde, so let's look at what you're revisiting. Then we'll look at what's hidden from you. And then I want to pull a card for the future, so I will. All right, so I'm going to start with an overall card here. I love it. The Empress. I believe this came up in the pick a card. No, in the, I did all signs energy, and the Empress came in for you there, Scorpio. So let's see. I love her. She is the earth. In this rendering, she appears to be the cosmos. She is birthing the cosmos. Very powerful sense of self-sovereignty here in the Empress. And wow, couple of, minor cards on the bottom. I jest. You have the Moon. So secrets, intuition. To me, this is feeling like we just had a full moon. We have a new moon coming in Virgo, which is what the sign we're going to be transitioning into. For me, this is coming in a kind of intuitive 5D connection way across long distances. And it reminds me this morning, some beloved people drove away and I went out for a walk and I looked up in the sky and there was the moon waxing above me. Waning above me, because yes, we just had a full moon and now it's waning. And I thought about how they're underneath the same moon, and that now that they're physically not with me, because they're on the road on a 2-day journey away, that I can connect to them by remembering that I don't need our bodies to be in the same room. There are ways that we can still connect. And then we also see your card, Scorpio, death. Transformation. So this is a very powerful, mystical feeling here. It's very transformative. The moon can also be about you looking into your darker, unexplored places. Scorpios, I think we are quite good at this. And death is about dying and being reborn here through such a process. And it is your card for a reason. So I'm also seeing both the Empress here with this sort of being with her eyes closed. So there's really something about this long distance connection when you close your eyes, perhaps when you're sleeping, that you are feeling that is not in the 3D but in the 5D. That's coming through really, really clearly across the cosmos, across geographic space, even potentially across time. So that's a lot. Let's see what some advice may be. I'm going to ask the good tarot here about some basic advice, questions of what to release, embrace, revisit, what's hidden we should know, and what the future may bring. Should we take this advice? I like to think. All right. Let's see. What are you releasing? You are releasing the Six of Water. This is nostalgia. This is being rooted in the past. It's also a soulmate connection. Yearning here. That can be, in this deck, it's like it really comes in as it's usually such a lovely card of undefended love. This comes in as like obsessive love for someone who's not there here. So advice would be to release that. There's more information in the Six of Water or Six of Cups, and we will explore further with clarification. Yeah, I'm really seeing these formations in the background. They're here, they're coming in like almost like wings here. And so what I see, again, is this long distance connection that I talked about here, this kind of reaching out across time and space, you know, long distance for somebody who isn't there in the 3D world. So there's a kind of, that's I guess what the wings, and like that she's flying by closing her eyes. We can see on the water surface a different being there, like her hands are in a different gesture. So this is a yearning for another who is not physically with you right now. So you know who that is, Scorpio. And it can be someone that you don't even know yet, because the Six of Water is about a soulmate connection too. So it could be, you can just feel like that perhaps there's somebody, a soul that you'll connect with here. Let's find out what you're to embrace. Well, the Chariot. This is physical movement, forward, momentum. And there's the looking back of the Six of Water and the looking forward of the Chariot. So if you need to release some kind of yearning that's emotional, and with the Chariot, which is a card of the sign of Cancer, a water sign, a cardinal sign, it's cardinal energy of like, let's go. Great idea. Let's do it. So what's your idea? What are you thinking? It's like in the real world right here, right now, that you can do, even though you might be missing somebody in your life, some connection that you don't even have yet with you, or an actual person that you miss. Could be on either side of death here, because we have this death card. Someone that you might be reaching out to across that threshold. Okay, what we're revisiting, there's several planets in retrograde. So as with the Empress, this card speaks of self-sovereignty, of solitude. This is Earth, the material world. This is your home, your abundance. And this is you as a single person able to make everything that you need. Self-sovereignty is, this is the Empress in waiting, the Nine of Earth. Cute, my dog is dreaming. So you hear a little funny sound over there. So this would be something that you did or made, a space that you cultivated. Like I recently repainted in my room here, put in that pocket door there. So that's the home, but it could be more an idea, a concept of home here. For example, you might have been thinking, I'm always going to live alone. That's what the Nine of Earth is, a solitary energy. She's wearing a mask in this image. Often the Nine of Earth wears a blindfold, and blindfolds in tarot can mean just looking to your inner counsel, not needing outside counsel. So earthy energy the tarot wants you to know about. We'll find out more. That's your revisit. Now we want to find out what the tarot wants you to know. And we get a 10 of Earth. This is your material world, your security, your job. I love this. She's so much, speaks to me of the Nine of Earth, this one with her wolf companion. And she's also wearing these wings that make me think to the suggestion of wings here with those structures on the edge of this woman's shoulders. So that's what the tarot wants you to know. It's really like you can interpret this through laws of manifestation. Like, I have everything. I am blessed. I am safe. When you know that, and then you feel grateful for that, that becomes true, theoretically. What do you think? So that's what the tarot wants you to know. Okay, what's coming in future? The Emperor. Wow. This is the sense of confidence of the Emperor is important. He's the alpha of the deck, right? So we have the Empress, and you know, there's kings and queens, they're couples in the tarot. The Empress doesn't need the Emperor partner. In some ways, she offers a kind of earthly opposite to the Emperor, who represents structural power. And he's definitely coming in with that sword. It's the sign of Leo here. We are currently in the sign of Leo. If you have Leo in your, or there's a Leo coming into your life. I noticed that he has the sword, which represents the mind. But there's this kind of authoritative hold that he has on that sword. I feel like what this reading is about is there's this feeling of reaching out for somebody that you're yearning for, but then the advice really is just do the real world, do your real life. Chariot, 9 of Earth, 10 of Earth, Emperor. Be the leader of your life, and focus there. What's going on the bottom here? Interesting. Okay. Well, there's just so much. All right, there's a lot going on under the surface, Scorpio. We have the repetition here of the Moon card. Something really important there that I missed. I always think when I get the card again, I just might have missed something when I first looked at it here. Here I emphasize this connection across to another being that you yearn for. The repetition of the Moon calls me to remind you of that work in the unexplored parts of yourself. What this says is there's something in you that you need to know. There's a secret or a mystery yet to be revealed. I then see some grief and pain. This is one of your cards, Scorpio, the 5 of Cups, 5 of Water. It's a painful perspective that you can shift. Something is over, you're grieving. It's a significant loss. And you, in a 5 of Water, can look to the new beginning, the new emotional beginning. In this deck, the Ace of Cups, that new emotional beginning, comes in as this little seahorse. So she's looking away from the seahorse who is right here for her. So when she's done grieving what she has lost, there is the new beginning. So that's coming in for you. Also, we have this beautiful 5 of Earth. Again, in this very practical realm. This is a feeling, though, of poverty, of being left out. Again, 5s, they're perspective shifts. Just like the 5 of Water, where you can turn from loss to new beginning. With the 5 of Earth, you can turn from lack and abandonment into membership, and to seeing that there's all of this golden bounty that, and this figure is actually looking at the material wealth, and there's this light here. I feel there's a revision in this of what wealth means, and that's suggested here by you revisit your 9 of Earth. Again, your pentacles, your wealth, your security. So there's a shift in what you understand that to be here on the table. And the tarot wants you to know about that too, about your pentacles, about your security, your job. The future looks very certain, very confident, very rich. But there's definitely something going on with you shifting perspective. So we also get the King of Water, emotionally mature, quiet, doesn't talk about his feelings. I see this as that reaching out to the other. It doesn't even need to be a human other. It could be some kind of natural other, like you're studying, as I am, connections, remembering connections to Earth, to the non-human people on the planet. 2 more cards here. And there is the 9 of fire. This is a sign of a long journey. You're almost there. There could be some exhaustion in that. What I see here is just, again, that light. The light here, which this one it can turn away from the material understanding to this light here. And lastly, a 7 of air. This is more information about secrecy. Scorpios can be quite secretive. It can be about dishonesty and lack of integrity. So here we see a woman who's trying to fit in with a bunch of geese. So she needs to be true and authentic and know who she is. So that would relate to your moon journey. Wow, there's a lot. Let's keep going and see what comes together here. There's a big cards with the Empress, the Moon, and Death as our overall energy. This seems like you're in a significant shift, Scorpio. Let's see what happens when we clarify. I had chosen a deck to clarify with, but I'm called to use a different one, so I'm going to listen to that. My dog gets a drink of water. Like the presence of my dog is a part of this reading, right? Tarot wants you to know there's this one. Who is this one? It's an animal connection. It's a connection across species here. Is there something really important about remembering and connecting to animals, to nature, with the Empress here, with the wolf and yeah. So we have also, she's communing with these geese, and the doves are flying in. They represent the truth and grace. So these are, yeah, there's some kind of connection here. It's not with a person necessarily. Or, yeah, because we've got the seahorse. There's even in the Scorpio, the moth. I don't know what that means for you. I can imagine what it might mean for me. You're going to get a new pet. No, I mean, I have a guide that goes with me when I journey into the other world in my meditations, and my guide is a mountain lion. And then there's all kinds of interspecies stuff that I'm exploring that have to do with we forgot that we're a part of nature. We forgot our sense of wildness. For example, I was reading an essay about selkies, which are usually women who are seals, and they are able to take off their seal skin and dance, have legs as women, but they have to return to that wild state. Sharon Blackie is the author of this essay, so she's looking at folklore about human-animal connection. So yeah, there is a reaching into, with these two moon cards, there's a knowing of who you are here. You're reaching for a connection in this reading. So let's see. So what you're supposed to release, and we'll clarify now with Tarot of the Wild Unknown. So let's see. What's the 6 of Water? What are we releasing? What is Scorpio releasing? A 7 of Wands. This is victory. And I mean, sorry, not victory. It is resistance. It's integrity. You know, in a way, like, it seems to me to be what this one needs, the 7 of Air. It's I know who I am. I listen to my inner light. What else? What else is going on here? The Hanged Man. Okay. I saw, this is not the first time I've seen this in your reading, Scorpio. Needing to change your mind, change your perspective on something. So that's good that we have this revisit, this Nine of Earth. So there's a looking at something from a different angle, and the Hierophant. This seems important too. More card of structural power, but the key to knowledge, perhaps a teacher, mentor. So there is here in your release, the Six of Water. There's a need for you to relook at it. That's been coming up, right? That you're looking in the wrong place for the truth, right? Because the Seven of Wands, the Hangman, and the Hierophant, in a way, they're all about truth, light, this light, the light that we've been seeing here, right? This light, the light that has lit your path. It's like so this is this light, and you're looking at it from a new angle, and then we can see this lightning bolt, the key. It's like you're sitting here nostalgic for the past. This is what you want to release. I think this is, I mean, you're a fixed sign, Scorpio. It's hard for you to let go of things. You may be feeling like, oh, I hope things go back to how they were in some arena of your life. I mean, there's the obvious big world arena. This shows me that is a place that you actually are looking in the wrong place for something. The past is not the place to look. And it's almost like there's a new key that's coming in, a new insight that's coming in. It seems perhaps it's being brought to you, again, by a bird, a creature, a non-human being. Of course, this is a deck of animals, so is that why I chose it? Maybe. I mean, I was going to use the Klimt. It's all humans here. And it wasn't like I thought about that in a hustly way. My brain does things, whatever. I just intuitively understood that I wanted an animal deck because we're having these cross-species, trans-species connection. And it doesn't mean like you and your dog. It could mean you and your wild self. And a lot of when I think we see the Hierophant representing a structural power, much like the Emperor did here when we talked about the Emperor, that is looking in the past with the Six of Water on the table. The key appears to be going in a different direction. So that's what I'm seeing here. Some kind of change in perspective, the Hangman, about where the light comes from in you. It's like you need to find something really beautiful inside of yourself that surprises you. You're looking in the wrong place for that somehow. Okay, well, let's see. What you're embracing is very forward, not dwelling in the past, not nostalgic. The Chariot energy. It's funny because I do think of Cancerians, our fellow water sign, as being very nostalgic. And I think of the Six of Water as one of their cards. Chariot is the card of Cancer because it's a cardinal sign, as I said. So let's find out more. What does this embrace? The Two of Cups. There's that soulmate connection again. Mirroring true love, justice, it's equality, right? You can see the same cup, they're each offering one another a rose. Simple, simple. And communication and action. This is Chariot energy, zapped with this lightning. You're getting stuff going and doing. Okay, one more. The Daughter of Swords. Okay. I said okay because, let me confess, I started a reading for you and I just didn't like it. and whenever I do that, it doesn't matter because I get the same reading with different cards. But the Daughter of Swords came up in your reading. So many of these it did actually. So forget about that. Let's see what we have here. Daughter of Swords, open-mindedness, curiosity, chatty. Yeah, there's a lot here about, so the colors around her. There's just, when I look at this owl, a really clear sense comes in here. This is a young energy. It's wise though. I mean, an owl. Swords are the mind, so I just love her little face. She reminds me of like a smart little girl. I just had my mom here, and she reminds me of my mom. Like the smart little girl, the inner child of my mom. There's a watching here. And look at what you're releasing, what you're embracing. This old crow and this young, wise little young one. Okay, let's keep looking. Keep looking. Something interesting coming through for us here. All right. You're revisiting something about your 9 of Earth, your self-sovereignty, the Empress in waiting, your home. Very practical. Remember, my initial impression is you need to change your mind. Something needs to change in your perspective. Hangman, 6 of Water. It was telling me something needs to change in your mind. Death's on the table. Transformation. These 2 5 cards, 5 of Earth, 5 of Water, they're saying, you're looking here, you can look here. Here is a new beginning. Here is the light. Here is the little seahorse, the emotional new beginning. 2 of Cups appears here. That's that beginning. Okay, let's just keep looking. What does this Daughter of Swords know? This embrace of the Chariot and the 2 of Cups. You're struck with lightning. Action, communication happens. It might happen. Daughter of Swords can mean social media. I feel like you're waiting for this. You're reaching out, right? We talked about this before. We're reaching out of the 3D world across the 5D. That's what this made me think about. Space, time, life, death. You're reaching out towards something, and you need to rethink what you're reaching out towards in some way. So let's see. 9 of Earth. Okay. The world. This is what you revisited. Something ended recently. There's your 10 of Pentacles. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't show you the world. It's a really beautiful world. It's the ending and then the beginning. It's beautiful. In this deck, it actually says that you're complete already. You're everything that you need to be right now. So in a reading where it feels like you're reaching out for somebody to complete you, 9 of Earth and the world, it's as if you came, and you're revisiting this, you recently came to the conclusion that you're complete in and of yourself, that you don't need others. This is in the 3D realm. 10 of Pentacles, which we've already seen here. That's this woman with her dog. That's your abundance, your security. And as we thought about the 10 of Earth, and the 9 of Earth being here and the Emperor coming up, we thought about how you have manifested everything that you need. And if you just do this, I believe I have it all. I'm grateful that I have it all kind of practice. You will find that you are right. And I can tell you right now, I've been just seeing that, and it changes, like my conviction changes, and literally a huge check came into my mailbox, and I was like, oh, I hate to be really woo, but hello, I've been manifesting like crazy. Like I need to take some time off work to do some research, and I just said, what you need will come, Heather, and sure enough, now I can pretty much take that trip. Okay, sorry, I'm lonely for you, Scorpio. Okay, then we get the Father of Swords with his beautiful truth. I love the Father of Swords. If you know me, you know that. That's Aquarian energy, the humanitarian Aquarian energy with the truth of your mind, your intellect swords, connecting to your heart because you have used that sword. You are a king. You have reached the penultimate sword in the suit. So as we embrace the Daughter of Swords, we revisit this. I think that's interesting. I see the same color and then imbuing this sword. So there's something here, a truth that you came to, that you felt like you had this beautiful truth. So the world tells me that it had to do, in the Nine of Earth, this tells me like something about your idea that you are complete in and of yourself. You have everything. This is a beautiful truth that you came to recently. I'm not saying you're wrong. You're revisiting that. I think you're revisiting that because you forgot that. Yeah, because you started yearning and needing and somebody else to complete you, to use the Jerry Maguire framing. And it isn't that there isn't someone for you. I see a Two of Cups, the Chariot. It's somehow the Two of Cups is speaking to me of these horses, these two horses, more than the woman. Very different energies who balance each other. So that's what you're embracing. It's like, this is where you need to revise. Okay. All right. What the Tarot wants you to know is this Ten of Earth. I love that she's alone, you know, because the Ten of Earth, which is also very abstract in this rendering, it's very much, the Ten of Earth or Pentacles, this is the end of a cycle of Pentacles. This is the end of the big or major arcana cycle. So we can see this similarity here. This is in your 3D world that you have completed something. The Tarot wants you to know something about that. What's that? Ten of Cups. Emotional completion. More of that beautiful, it's like a revision. Let me keep reading. All right. Six of Pentacles, generosity. Money does grow on trees. This is what I feel like you've forgotten. You've forgotten your worth. You've forgotten like that, you know, in and of yourself, you're complete. You have forgotten that money grows on trees, that love is infinite, and truth. A reader once said, if you say something and then you pull the Ace of Swords, what you just said is true. Take or leave that. There's the snake that sheds its skin. Born again, death, the born again, dying, being reborn. The truth is not easy. This is a white lightning, shocking truth. The infinity here by the snake's body wrapped around it. I think in this deck that there's these black and white images and then this rainbow imagery that really works for me as a queer person. That there's the simplicity and the binarism of the black and white in it, but then it's also frequently struck with the rainbow, the wisdom of the rainbow perspective, right? Like the King of Swords here has that in his sword. So then these swords appear next to each other on the table. In fact, this being the past, or this being what you're embracing, this being what you're revisiting, this being what the tarot wants you to know. There's some, and I feel like this is coming up in readings all the time right now. There's a truth that we need to know. It's like we need to remember something is a clear feeling that I have, like this trying to remember. Do you have that? Like we forgot something and we need to remember it. So I'm a historian, like that works for me. The past, there's something in the past that we lost that I want to get back a hold of. We also have here a sense of youth having wisdom, so that it could be something you knew as a child. For example, I was told that until we're 6, we know we're magical. And there's something here about knowing you are an animal, that you're a part of the Empress of Earth here. You need to know that you are an animal. And that's what I think the Emperor shows us, is that we're just animals dressed up in fashionable attire. Let's see what the Emperor, this is what's coming in ahead. The Daughter of Wands, the Page of Wands. Inspired, creative, from the outside. Another young perspective, Scorpio. So we've got Daughter of Swords, now Daughter of Wands. Let me keep looking here. The Ace of Wands. This is fire, willpower. It's Leo energy. It's Aries, Sagittarius. So your fire signs. It's a new idea. It's inspiration. Like, so you have like a beginning here with truth. And then this is the willpower and the inspiration. I see, and of course they're the same suit, but the wands in this deck aren't always blooming, but these are. And this is the young Page of Wands, or Daughter of Wands, wrapped around this inspiration. It's your body, it's really your pleasure, your desire, the wand. It's willpower. But it's also, and it's this Chariot energy too, that we're being told to embrace. What else? Let's see. Ooh, there's your Ace of Cups. You have all of the beginning cards here. Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands, Ace of Cups. The only one that you actually don't have is the Ace of Pentacles. It's not on the bottom here, is it? No. Ooh. I will get to this, but let me just tell you right now, there's no Ace of Pentacles on the bottom of this deck. Part of what you need to revise here appears to be, and maybe it's because you've finished with the practical 3D world. The 10 of Earth is on the table twice. There's no Ace of Earth. You have to begin in the realm of truth, in the realm of wands, creativity, in the emotions, the emotional realm of the Ace of Cups. And even in the 5 of Earth, which could suggest that you just need to see what there is, the new beginning. It's not Earth, it's not money, security, property, career. It's light, it's inspiration, it's wisdom here. So if you're somebody who has been invested in wealth, it's like that concept of wealth that's, typical, normative. And I say normative because you have the queer card, the Daughter of Wands. She is outside the norm. She brings wisdom from outside of normative society. So there's, right, you're going to learn something new here. It's something that you hadn't seen because you've been looking at it from the wrong direction. And it isn't that money's bad. It's just not the thing to focus on. It's a tool. That's it. It's just a tool. It's not the meaning of life, according to this reading. There's a clear message here of looking into yourself, of looking at your values in a new way, in a way that causes you to reflect on the truth. And this rainbow coloring here, and with the 2 of Cups, there's something here about justice, about variety and difference. Like you don't even have to worry because money grows on trees, right? Yeah. Well, Scorpio, it's a Scorpio message here, and it's going to depend on who you are, what you're looking at in a new way. It's structural, it's institutional, it's the old world, right? Because this is what you're, and something ended. It looks like a pentacle cycle, and at the end of that, you got this truth. And the tarot, this is what you're revisiting. And then the tarot wants you to look at that again, right? Here's that truth. Tarot says, you're missing something here. You came to a conclusion and you might be incorrect a little bit. It looks like, because the tarot says, there's a 10 of Cups here. And money grows on trees, right? This is, and we see coming in an Ace of Cups. This is new love, divine love, self-love. I don't really know. It's going to be personal to you. It looks like you have to look into your moon journey. You have to shift your perspective. Although I love to say, and I love to hear, that take as long as you need. 5 of Earth, 5 of Cups are here, right? And if you just, when you finish feeling sad and abandoned, then there's this, and there's your Ace of Cups right there. It looks like you've been working on this for a long time. It's very transformative. It's causing you to remember your animal nature in some way. I understand this from my journey, but you're going to understand this from your angle. It's like something about who you are that you forgot. It's coming in for me as your animal nature, but it could be anything. And you looked at it and you missed it. Now you're looking at it again. You need to. The reason I pull like a revisit is when you have a lot of planets in retrograde. It's like the planet's covering the parts of the zodiac that it already traveled through, and now it's going to go backwards, then back over it again, okay? So it's like the second and third time that you looked at this. Whatever truth you got out of that ending, you might be a little bit off. But there's something beautiful, never seen before, weird, contrary to norms. And so here we see you in the future, having reclaimed that animal nature, having integrated it into your cultural nature, your human civilization, your structural situation. That's the kind of thing that we have going on here for you, Scorpio. On the bottom of this deck, I see quite a bit. Okay. Some feeling of confusion, competition, a painful ending. This is Swords, your mind, but it's often read as even it could be a romantic ending, end of something that you really cared about. It's painful, and your mind can't leave it alone. That's why the swords have stabbed it 10 times, but by the time you get here, you know it's over. There's a new day, a new beginning. It's very clear that there's healing. The 4 of Swords, this is little lamb healing her mind. You can see her third eye shining out. You go alone to heal. You change you address your thoughts, like, oh, my thoughts are hurting me. There's a classy love offer. The Son of Cups. The Knight of Cups. He is true-hearted, beautiful swan, made for life, right? Made for life. And then we also see here the Father of Cups, who we've seen here already. He is dark because he doesn't open up It's not that he's unaware of what he feels, but he's definitely generous-hearted, and he cares about his kingdom. And so he's not like, oh, me, my feelings. He's, well, how can I listen to you? Why are these Son of Cups and Father of Cups here? There's some of this maturing on the table from daughter to father, son to father. Like, don't think that's what it is, though. I feel like the young you knew this, and the old you needs to now integrate what you forgot. So, what did you forget? Go back and remember that, and live by it, because it's missing from how you're living right now. That's your message, Scorpio. Let me know. Have a beautiful day.